Hi, this is Shaine with a quick presentation about social media for political campaigns. I want to take a few minutes here to talk about why local candidates ought to consider using social media for your political campaigns. What I want to talk about first is that what social media I'm talking about specifically. I'm not just saying log into Facebook and Twitter. Those are good things to do. But in general, what you want to do is incorporate video, photographs, blogging, and even podcasts, some type of audio program into your campaign to help you get the word out. And the reason you want to do this is because you want to show that your campaign has activity, that you're out there shaking hands and meeting people, that you're participating in community events, that you're actually going out and doing something in the community to help out and to actually improve your chances of winning your election. Also, it helps the public identify with you in seeing that who you are. There's a lot of things a little subtle things that come out when you're on video or doing a real voiceover of something. There's nuances that people see, and they want to kind of find out more about you in that sense. Now, it may work against you if you're not very charismatic, then you may want to stay away from video and audio and just stick to blogging and photographs. But if you are the type who has that type of magnetic personality, definitely you do want to consider using video and audio for your campaign. Even if it's a local city campaign or a school board campaign, it really does help out in getting the word out to your constituents. Also, the one other thing you want to think about when you're producing video, photos, blogging, and audio is that these are very cheap to produce and also to distribute to other people. So basically you can create a video piece with a simple flip cam like I'm doing right now with your camera phone or with on your blog and reach a lot of people instantly. Whereas if you try to do that with mail pieces and phone calls and block walking, then it can be pretty expensive. Now, I'm not saying you don't have to do all those things. You definitely do have to do block walking and make the phone calls and send out mail pieces. But I think that social media is a good complement to those activities because it does help you reach a core group of people that actually are interested in your campaign, but may not have the time to keep up with every single thing that's coming out, or maybe the press isn't really giving you much coverage. So for that reason, let's talk about who your audience is, right? Now, the first thing I want to talk about for your audience is that even though the goal is to get as many votes as possible, it's very unlikely that the average citizen is so involved in politics that they're keeping track of school board elections, city elections, county elections, and all these different little government entities that require elections. There's just too many candidates for any one person to read everything about every candidate. So you do want to you can't realistically expect that you're going to reach every single voter out there, and that's where putting up signs and commercials and all that still pays off, because you're going to reach those people. With social media, you're actually looking for engaging volunteers, people who are going to help you go out there and talk to people and reach your core constituency, so that way. So anyways, that's your audience, is volunteers. People are going to help you carry out your campaign. And so if you use social media to engage them and your volunteers and get them to help you get the word out, then that definitely it will pay off tremendously for you and your campaign. The next group of people that you want to target with your social media, or maybe not target, but that will be influenced by your social media presence, are donors. If they see that you're actually active and out there meeting and greeting and talking to people and making every effort possible to win the election, then they're going to see it as a good investment to part with their money to help your campaign out. So if you have a media presence or social media presence and your opponent doesn't, then you make a much better or a more attractive person to donate to, because they see that you're active in your campaign and you're actually trying to win. All right, so volunteers and donors are two of them. Other people that you want to target with social media, again, not target, but who will be influenced by your social media presence, are other leaders in the community. So if you're an incumbent, then this is maybe not so important because you're already working with other leaders. But if you're a challenger, it actually would help you out to have a social media presence, because it helps the leaders in the community find out who you are if you're not already active in the community, and how you behave, or how to interact with you. So if you come across as genuine through your video, and then other leaders see that you are honest and very well, that you have a good presence. Let me put it that way. They may. It helps you. Get these flies out of here. It helps you have a better chance of working with them successfully during your term. Other people that may be influenced by your social media presence is the press, actually. The press nowadays is adjusting a little bit, so they need a little bit of help to keep up with. There's tremendous amount of news going on, but a reduced amount of people actually writing the stories or covering the stories. So anything you can do to help them cover your campaign actually is an advantage, because if you already have the blog posts, keeping them updated, if you have the photographs, if you have the video out there, and they can keep up without having to put too much time into finding out what you're up to, and chasing you down by phone calls, and it's a lot easier for you to get some coverage from the press in that sense. And finally, of course, you do want to reach out to voters. Now again, as I mentioned earlier, the amount of people who actually keep up with every single election is not that many. There are some people who are political junkies and they'll keep up with all the races, but for the most part, most people aren't going to know who you are come election day. But they will recognize your name if you made the signs, if you put the billboards and ran the commercials, or if you were out there and they recognize your name from out there, then they'll probably turn out and vote. But you will still see that you will reach some voters who wanted to find out more about you, and they used the link on your campaign material to visit your website and find out more about you. So you definitely don't want to discount voters, but they're not your primary audience when you're doing social media. You do want to use social media to engage those who are going to help you carry your message forward and win the election. So that's what we got for today. Social media for political campaigns. Again, you're going to use video, photos, blog, audio to reach out and show that you're active. And your audience is going to be volunteers, donors, other leaders, the press, and also voters. So that's all we got for today. I want to thank you for listening. This is Shaine Mata. We'll see you.